Students, so in the previous video we have studied about the classification part, that is the invertebrate we have completed. Apart from that, I have started about the chordate, the differences between the chordates and non-chordates we have completed. It is a 5-mark question in the examination, just you have to write the 5 differences. Continuation of that, now we are going to study about that is the next part of the vertebrate characters also I told you, and the next part we are going to write about the classification of the vertebrate group. So now phylum, so vertebrates we are going to be studying these vertebrates. Now whatever we are going to observe, the classification of the chordate, entire classification of the chordates of the vertebrates, we are going to observe that it has been normally divided into 2 divisions, vertebrates, that is division, outline classification, that what we are going to be writing here. So now first one is Agnatha group, Agnatha, and here Gnathostoses, Gnathostomata. So now vertebrates are normally divided into 2 groups or the division, that is the Agnatha and Gnathostomata, Gnathostos or Gnathostomata. Agnatha is nothing but without jaws. The organism, if they are not having the jaws, that is considered as normally Agnatha. Gnathostomata are nothing but the with jaws. With jaws or without, and the without jaws, that what we are observing. Gnathostomata and Agnatha. So here Agnatha is normally having only one class, that is cyclostomes or cyclostomata. Agnatha is supposed to be having only one class, that is cyclostomata. The next is Gnathostomes. Gnathostomes are normally divided into 2 superclass, that is, so now superclass we are going to observe that so now, or else we are saying that superclass 2, that is one is Pisces, superclass Pisces, and second one is tetrapod, Pisces and tetrapod. Superclass Pisces is divisible into 2 classes. Pisces is divisible into 2 classes. One is called as Chondrichthyes and Osteichthyes. Chondrichthyes and Osteichthyes. Chondrichthyes and Osteichthyes. Chondrichthyes is cartilaginous. Chondrichthyes is nothing but the cartilaginous. Osteichthyes is nothing but the bony. Chondrichthyes and Osteichthyes. Now, superclass tetrapoda is divisible into 4 classes. As already I have studied this, that is on the class Amphibia, class Reptilia, class Apes, and then next is class Mammalian. So like this, what we have studied in the earlier class means 9th or 10th standard, you might have studied these things. Vertebrates, subphylum Vertebrata is supposed to be divisible into 2 important divisions, that is Agnatha group and Gnathostomes. On what basis they have divided? On the basis of the presence or absence of jaws, where the teeth are located. That is the jaws. The next is without jaws. Actually 2 classes were there. So out of that, in one class it is going to be left, that is the cyclostomes. Ostracodermy and one more class was there earlier, but the species of Ostracodermy, they were extinct. that the spaces are not available. That is why only one one class is left, that is cyclostomata. That is from the Agnatha group. And now gnathostomata, it is normally with jaws. All are normally higher animals are having the with jaws itself, and it is divided into two superclass. One is Pisces, another one is Tetrapoda. Superclass Pisces is divisible into two classes, Cartilaginous and the bony. Andre chondrichthyes andre cartilaginous fishes. In Pisces means the fishes only. So in the fishes you can observe that the two things are going to be found. Andre two kinds of fishes are going to be found. One is normally provided with the cartilage, other one is the bony. Cartilaginous and the bony fishes. Now next one is superclass one more Tetrapoda. Tetrapoda means four-legged animals are there. Tetrapoda means four-legged animals are there. Amphibia, reptilia, ales and mammalia. So these things we are going to be study here. In the seed part, chances are there the question is supposed to be asked. That is, now they are living about these things. So you have to write the Pisces here. They are living about first with this like that. Cyclostomes, what needs to be there? One day on the class is there, Agnatha group, the animals without jaws, which belongs to vertebrate itself, and that is the cyclostomata. Right? So now, next we are moving towards, now one by one we are going to study about this. First Agnatha group, cyclostomes. Then we are moving toward the cartilaginous and bony fishes. Then we are moving towards the characters of amphibia, reptilia, ales and mammalia. 5 to 6 characters we are going to be studying. So now we have to take down this, and this is also, and already invertebrate we have completed outline classification of kingdom Animalia. So here also we have to write, that is the vertebrate, how it is going to be classified. Next is write down, that is class cyclostomes. So we are moving toward the class cyclostomes. In the Agnatha group, we are moving toward the class cyclostomata. Class cyclostomata. Next is, so here we have to see that the general characters. General characters, usually you can see that these are marine. Specifically, they are normally found in the marine. Now next, second one is habitat I have done. Now on what basis we are calling it as a cyclostomata? So that is mouth is circular and suctorial. Mouth is circular and suctorial. Mouth is circular and suctorial, like however we have studied in the case of the leeches, sucking or the suckers, how it is to be there. So like that, no doubt that is a kind of fish that what we are observing. But now here we are studying about that. Mouth is circular and suctorial. Suctorial means they are having capacity to suck their blood. These are considered as a blood sucking parasites. These are considered as a blood sucking parasites. So mouth is circular and suctorial. Next is third one. Mouth is circular and suctorial means they are parasitic in nature. Next, third one. They are parasitic in nature. Mouth is circular and suctorial. In the bracket we have to write ectoparasites. Ectoparasites. They are normally sucking the blood. This is what we are saying. Blood of other fishes. Blood of other fishes, you can observe that. It's what we are considering it as ectoparasites. Third one we have to observe that the very important characters only I am writing, because other characters are similar. What similar characters are there? Organ system grade of organization is there, diploblastic is there. We should not write all those things because already we crossed that. So now here directly we are going to even coelomate and all those things not necessarily right. Yalla higher animals we are moving, so all are common. That is one. And even digestive system is complete and all those things not necessary to write. Apart from that, even we are going to write about the important characters. The important character now you can see that mouth is circular and suctorial. pectoral ಅಂತ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಇದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ it appears like fish but devoid of scales and devoid of scales. Devoid of scales and paired fins. Paired fins. This is also a unique character. You can see that iveredu character enive. On the basis of this only the question is supposed to be asked for cyclostomata. Why the name is considered as a cyclostomata? Cyclo refers to the circular. So mouth is circular and suctorial. Sucking habit irodrinda, so mouth is circular. Because absence of jaws is going to be found here. So mouth is circular and suctorial, that is ectoparasite. Normally they suck blood from the other fishes. It appears like fish but devoid of scales and paired fins. ನೋಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾವ ತರ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತವೆ? ಫಿಶಸ್ ತರ. But the fishes are normally having the scales. That's what we are observing, that these are the scales. Scales are present on the surface region of the body. So scales are present on the surface region of the body. So that is why here devoid of scales. Scales irodilla, looking like fish, but the scales are absent. Devoid means absence. And now paired fins. Usually we can observe that in the fishes we are saying that so fins are normally paired. Paired fins are going to be found, but here single fin is going to be found. Ondonde fins iruttave, paired fins are absent. This is the unique character what we are observing. Next important character is here iga vertebral column and the cranium is cartilaginous. Vertebral column and cranium is cartilaginous. Yakandre suddenly it is not going to be developed into bones. So initially you can observe that vertebral column is there, but it is normally made from cartilage. Cartilage andre what is the difference between cartilage and the bone? Cartilage is normally flexible in nature. Cartilage we are saying that they are flexible in nature. Bones are hard and rigid. That's what we have seen that. Even I ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೆ some of the fishes are chondrichthyes ಅಂತ ಬಂದಿದೆ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ cartilaginous fishes. But now here you can see that vertebral column and cranium. Brain ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, cranium ಅಂತ ನಮ್ಮ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ಆ ತರ. But here it is made up of boning. It is made from boning. But now there you can see that the cartilage. This character you have to be remember. Next, the fifth one, important character you can see that. No doubt, sexes are separate. Now you can see that sexes are separate, and even the excretion takes place from the kidney. That is a common character that what is necessary to write. Sexes are separate. The number of gills number of gills you can see that gills are now you can see that around 6 to 15 pairs of gill slits are present. Pairs of gill slits, 6 to 15 pairs of gill slits are going to be found in the fish. Looking like fish, but not the entire exact fish character they are showing. Fish nalli scales irtave, adu important. Paired fins irtave. Now you can see that the important character is what I have written is these are marine. These are marine. And now you can see that for spawning, andre laying of eggs, for spawning you can observe that enter into fresh water. So for spawning they enter into fresh water. After spawning, after spawning, within few days, they die. Note, just as important is, so we can observe that is spawning and then laying. So one thing you have to remember that, as I have written here, these are marine. Marine, ocean, sea water, that what we have seen that. Sea water erosion. So now they are having capacity to migrate from sea water to fresh water. Migration is going to be taking place from sea water to fresh water. How it is? For spawning, laying the eggs. During the time of laying the eggs, you can observe that they enter into fresh water. After spawning. Now we can observe that after spawning, they normally within few days they die. Eggs hakid mele, so then the death those who laid the eggs, females. So now within few days they die. Now next character, and the eighth one you have to write that. After metamorphosis, they return to fresh water. So normally metamorphosis, they return to oceans. Till the larval stage, normally they remain in the oceanic region. So after metamorphosis, what do you mean by term metamorphosis? Larval form changes into the adult one. After metamorphosis, so they enter into the again freshwater to oceans. This is migration. The migration capacity in some fish higher, that is the astinctionally migration is going to be taking place. But here, exclusive character, all those things here, you can observe that the 6 to 15 pairs of gill slits are present. In the previous class I told you that the difference between the gills and the gill slits. Gill slits, an aperture is going to be found. With the help of the aperture, these gills are located. The saucer, how we are going to be keeping inside the house, that is the one showcase is there. In that only we are keeping. Like that, how the saucers are keeping inside, the gills are also located inside, that is considered as gill slits. So now, here pharyngeal gill slits, the gill slits are normally present in the pharynx region. That's what we are saying it as a pharynx. So for spawning, during the time of laying the eggs, marine forms of the fishes enter into the fresh water, and after laying the eggs, normally within a few days they die. After a few days you can observe within a few days they die. So in this way, normally we are saying it as a cyclostomes character, and after metamorphosis after metamorphosis they return to oceans. So in this way, metamorphosis larval stage changes into the adult. They return to the oceans. So in this normally what we are observing that the 8th character we have completed. We have to see that the unique feature of the 1, 2. So now 2, 3 characters are there, and now cartilaginous will be there, and 6 to 15 pairs of gill slits are going to be found. This one is also important. CET questions normally they are going to be asked, right? Example we have to write petromyzon. Mixing. Mixing. Or even we can consider it as a hagfish. Petromyzon or the mixing, that is the hagfishes. Followed doubt doubt illa, but now you can see that this one cartilaginous, flexibility is going to be found more. It appears like fish, but devoid of scales and paired fins. Divide absence of that, what we are saying. and for spawning enter into fresh water after spawning, and within few days they die after metamorphosis. Andre XR developed into larval stage. A larval stage admele immediately they enter into the oceans. So how it is possible? That is also important. You can see that migration, how it is possible from the sea water to the fresh water. Sea water to fresh water, how the migration is going to be taking place? Usually you can see that. So migrations are going to be taking place whenever estuaries are going to be found. Estuaries andre wherever sea water mixes with the fresh water. Illinda alige hoಗ್ತಾ ಸರ್ sea water ಇಂದ ಈ ಕಡೆ ಬರ್ತವೆ. How it is possible andre wherever the regions followed, wherever the regions the sea water is going to be mixed with the fresh water, that is considered as an estuaries ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. So in that region such kind of the migrations are going to be taking place. Followed? Right. So this is what we have studied. Only one class, that is the cyclostomes. These are the examples. Now next is, next we are moving toward the superclass species. Next we are moving towards superclass species. Superclass species. Next we are moving toward the superclass species. Superclass species. So now we are moving toward the superclass species. In the superclass species, now we are moving toward the again divided into two classes, as already you know that one is called as cartilaginous fish, another one is called as bony fish. So what we are saying that the superclass species divisible into class Chondrichthyes, class Chondrichthyes and class Osteichthyes. I am writing the differences also. Class Osteichthyes, Chondrichthyes and the Osteichthyes. So now here two classes I am writing the differences, so that this is also important question for 5 marks. ಐದು differences ನೆನಪಿಡಬೇಕು. 5 characters in each, at least you have to remember that. So 5 mark question you can see that cartilaginous Chondrichthyes andre cartilaginous fish, and here we are observing that bony fish, cartilaginous and bony fish. So now number 1, these are marine. So here these are marine and freshwater. Marine and freshwater. Next one is endoskeleton is. First I will write, then I will explain. Endoskeleton is. Endoskeleton is cartilaginous. Endoskeleton is cartilaginous. Second one is here endoskeleton is bony. Exoskeleton andro so now here endoskeleton is cartilaginous. However, we have studied in the case of cyclostomes. So here also we are studying that the endoskeleton is cartilaginous, endoskeleton is bony. These are the differences. Now third one is scales are called placoid. Third one, scales are called cycloid. Scales are called placoid. Scales are called ctenoid. See, ctenoid. Scales are called placoid, ctenoid. C is silent. C is silent. That's what we are saying it as a ctenoid. Ctenoid. The bracket alla C. Now next is fourth one. I will explain later on. Gill slits are not covered. Fourth one. Gill slits are covered by operculum. Gill slits are covered by operculum. Fifth one, gill slits are covered by operculum. Next one is fifth character. Scales, I have written here, scales are called as placoid, scales are called as cycloid. Then swim bladder is absent. Swim bladder, or even we are considering it as an air bladder. Swim bladder is present. Swim bladder and air bladder also we are going to be called as. Next one, sixth. These five at least we have to keep in mind. Next is males contain claspers. Sixth one, claspers are absent. Claspers are absent. So now here we have to observe that the extrude, then we are going to move towards the next character. So here these are marine and freshwater. Bony fishes are present both marine as well as freshwater. Marine and seawater. Next is endoskeleton is cartilaginous, endoskeleton is bony. Internal skeleton is bony and very bony. Next, scales are called placoid, scales are called as cycloid or ctenoid. Scales are called placoid, scales are called as cycloid. So here I am explaining these things, just we have to concentrate on the third character. Scales are called as placoid. Specific now we are observing the placoid scales. In placoid scales, how they are present, just we have to see that. This is shark. So in this shark, we are observing that the shark scales and it's not possible the scales which is present outside. So now scales are called as placoid and other sort of spine-like structures are going to be found on the surface region. Body surface only small spine-like structures are going to be found, and when we touch the animal body from backward, we may feel spines. The teeth-like structures these are called as placoid scales. The skin rough skin. Why the rough skin is there? Because of the scales are distributed on the body surface, but it is not visible. Whenever we are seeing about the bony fishes, however, the scales are going to be found on the surface region, but here scales are not visible. Just we can see that whenever we are touching the skin from backward, so automatically we will feel the scales or the spine-like structures. These are called as placoid scales. The skin is because of protection. You can see that. Now next is, as far as this part is, bony fishes part is considered, just we have to observe that the scales are normally found here. These are the scales. Scales, you know that these are concerned on circular. The scales are called as cycloid. Cycloid, you know that cyclostomes. That is circular. Scales are cycloid. Next we can see that is why you can see that you cycloid scales. You can see that the important factor is they are probably releasing the mucus secretion because of protection. Bony fishes edible. Whenever we are going to touch the fish, it is slippery because of the secretion of the mucus substance. You not edible, but no slippery to touch. Even slippery easily they are available, but they are not edible. So like this. So in this way, the third character we have completed. Now we are moving toward the next feature, that is the gill slits. Gill slits are not covered. Usually you can see that in the case of shark, gill slits are visible like this. Gill slits are, or the apertures are going to be visible like this. Right? So pairs of the gill slits are going to be found, and now gill slits are visible. But now, in the case of the bony fishes, gill slits are present in the pharynx region only. But now you can see that they are covered. This covering is ನಾವು ಅಪರ್ಕ್ಯುಲಮ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತೀವಿ. ಕವರಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ದ gill slits, it is called as operculum. Covering of the gill slits. I think you have to observe you have seen about the aquarium. Aquarium ನಲ್ಲಿ fishes ನೋಡಿ, in the pharynx region ಅಂದ್ರೆ neck region ನಲ್ಲಿ, so bidding, that is it is going to be taking place. ಅದು male's thin skin ಇರ್ತದೆ, that is called as operculum. ಯಾಕೆ? Respiration. Gills are mainly meant for respiration, that is what we are observing there. Followed. So this is the operculum. In the gill slits are naked. Gill slits are not covered. Right. Next is swim bladder is absent. Swim bladder is absent. Swim bladder is present. Swim bladder is also normally concerned as an air bladder. Swim bladder is also concerned as an air bladder. Swim bladder is absent. Swim bladder is present. So what is the importance of this swim bladder? Swim bladder ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಂದ್ರೆ, so they are normally meant for, ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ, their air holding capacity is going to be found. You can see that buoyancy ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಹೌದಾ? So because of absence of air bladder or swim bladder, the bony fish, that is cartilaginous fishes, are continuous swimming. ಹೌದಾ? ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? If they are not swimming means normally they go down. Okay, sinking ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಕರಿತೀವಿ. So no longer they are present in water itself. Continuous swimming, why it is required? Because of absence of air bladder. Whereas presence of air bladder is not necessary to swim continuously. I think you have observed some of the fishes, you can see that they can stay in the water like this. What we are going to be observe that whether they dead or not. But they are living. Why? Because of swim bladder. So such kind of the facility is not going to be found in the cartilaginous fishes. Cartilaginous fishes are, they are making continuous to swimming continuously because of absence of swim bladder, followed athwa air bladder. Now next is males contain claspers. Here claspers are absent. So what is the importance of these claspers? Claspers ಅಂದ್ರೆ around the pelvic fins you can observe that small rod-like structures are visible in the pelvic region. The fish just you want to see that. So at this region, the small rod-like structures are visible. They are called as pelvic fins. A pelvic fins usually you can see that the small rod-like structures are found. They are called as claspers, which are present only in the males. So now, it is helpful for transferring the sperms into the female at the time of reproduction. At the time of reproduction, these claspers are mainly meant for the transferring the sperms into the females. So now, these are the claspers, what we are saying. Next one is, seventh one. Mouth is ventral. So here, seventh one, mouth is terminal. Mouth is ventral, mouth is terminal. The differences we are going to observe that. Mouth is ventral, mouth is terminal andre, so we have to see that. Even when we are saying about the cartilaginous fish really, so we can see that here the mouth. Just we have to see that the mouth is present at the ventral region. This is the region where the mouth is going to be found. Whereas in the case of the cartilage bony fishes ನಲ್ಲಿ mouth is normally found in the terminal region. ನೋಡಬಹುದು ಈ ಕಡೆ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ that is normally concerned as a bony fish. So mouth is ventral. This is concerned as a normally cartilaginous fish. So these are the unique features that what we are going to be observing. Now eighth one you can see that the fertilization is internal, viviparous. Fertilization is internal, viviparous. ಈ ಕಡೆ fertilization is external, oviparous. External, oviparous. So what difference we are observing that fertilization is internal. ಹೌದಾ? ಇದು ನೋಡಿ viviparous ಅಂದ್ರೆ usually cartilaginous fishes are pupils to young ones. This It's what we are saying it as an viviparous. Bony fishes fertilization is external. External fertilization is what? They are normally leaving the eggs or at the sperm outside, that is in the water bodies, and the fertilization takes place outside the body. It's what we are saying it as an external anta karitare. Oviparous andre egg laying one. Oviparous is egg laying. Viviparous is egg one, which is the new birth to young ones. This is called as a viviparous. Oviparous andre they are normally laying the eggs. So in this way, what the differences? Now the difference way, but this much is sufficient. So one more, how we are going to be identified? You can see that in the case of the cartilaginous fishes. You know, cartilaginous fishes, how it is to be the caudal fin is normally. The caudal fin is unlobed. Lobe irodilla. Two equal lobes are not going to be found. Unequal lobes are going to be found in the case of the cartilaginous fishes. In the case of cartilaginous fishes, two unequal lobes are there. Either unequal lobes are there. This is cartilaginous. This is cartilaginous. So now, bony fishes learning. Bony fishes, we are saying that two equal lobes are going to be found. Idu bony fishes. Two equal lobes are there. The extra character I am telling you that bony fishes are normally having the two equal lobes. That is the caudal fin, tail fins, and two unequal lobes are going to be found in the cartilaginous fishes. Right? So this much character you have to remember. Now I am giving the examples. Examples we have to observe here. One that example, just you have to see the textbook also. Example, scoliodon. Scoliodon, that is shark. Right? In on prestige, sawfish. That also we have to see that the cartilages. That's how. In for example, a trigon or the stingray. So that's what we are observing in the cartilaginous only. We refer the textbook and few more examples. Shark usually the common example that what we are giving. Shark is prestige is sawfish. Now you can see that the snout itself is going to be found like this. Saw-like structure. What we are saying it as a sawfish. Right? Next is here. Example. Example, you can see that exocetus. Flying fish. Hippocampus. Hippocampus. Seahorse. So many examples are there. That is Catla is there, Labiorohita is there. All these are the examples what we are saying under the bony fishes. For all of you. So this is a 5-mark question in the examination. Read out. This is a 5-mark question in the examination, and definitely they are going to be asked. Careful either the examination point of view, 5 differences if you are written is well and good. CET question or the NEET question, that what it has been normally asked earlier is identify the following organism where it is normally looking like fish but the absence of scales and the parent fins in the mother. The petromezon, that is what we have studied in the case of class Cyclostomata. Right, but now here you can see that idರಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ questions ಬಂದಿವೆ. So we have to be first study about these things. ನಾನು ಎರಡು differences ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತೀನಿ. Just you have to read out, practice it, 5-mark question in the examination. Apart from this, in the previous also I told you that it is the difference between the chordates and non-chordates also we have studied. For all of you, right? So in the next class we are going to start about the class amphibia, super class tetrapoda we are going to start. ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ರಿವೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ then we are going toward the super class tetrapoda. Super class tetrapoda ನಲ್ಲಿ first amphibia ಇದೆ.